No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today we're in here with Cincinnati's very own Skylar Blatt in the building.
The blizzard.
How you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm doing fine. How you feeling? I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. I just noticed what's going on with your glasses there.
How they chipped off them chips?
Yeah, they have like the pieces out.
Yeah, them missing motherfuckers right there. I call them. I could cuss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, them missing motherfuckers right there. Them chip motherfuckers.
Where'd you get those?
I got them from a female in my city. Her name Mama.
Oh, okay.
She got Define Beauty on social media.
Oh, it's her brand.
Yeah, her whole brand.
I was thinking they were gonna be like $800 fucking Dior sunglasses or something.
I don't really do too much.
You don't like that?
Yeah, I'm into it, but I'm simple.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm super simple.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Okay, so still young.
Yeah.
Do you feel young?
No.
Really?
No, I'm getting old. My bones and shit, like, you know.
I mean,
getting old.
There's a lot of different ways to be 26, though. Like, I know some 26-year-olds that are grizzled. They've been through everything, and I know some 26-year-olds that don't know shit.
Yeah, I've been through everything.
Really?
Yeah, everything. Almost.
I first noticed you because you were going viral on Twitter for the freestyle that you did. What's it called? On the Block? Or
On my block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that people were just going crazy saying you rap better than most dudes and all this kind of shit. Was that just a total surprise?
As far as what? Like
that specific tweet going viral?
No, kinda, because it came out of nowhere.
Right.
The viral part, I didn't even know. One day I was just at the salon, I kept getting notifications on my Twitter. I'm like, what the hell? Because my Twitter wasn't really having too much motion at the time. So I'm just thinking like, it keep being hella notifications. I'm like, what the hell? So I go on there, I'm like, oh, it's going viral. Like the guy that shared it, I never even, I didn't know nothing about him. Like, and it was just like viral. I'm like, damn. And
damn, but that was a nice boost career-wise.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of people noticing you from that and shit?
Yes, yeah, a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people.
When I saw that, I just felt like, I don't know, there's something about your delivery that I just thought was very like cool and calm and composed. Like, I'm not gonna use your interview as a platform to tell you what other girls are not good at rap-wise, but I do feel like a lot of girls rap like it's still the 90s. Right. You don't have to agree with me.
No, I'm not agreeing. I'm just listening to you. I'm like, right. Like, I'm just following you. I wasn't agreeing.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of girls that are, and I'm not putting this on everybody, but I feel like there's a lot of girls who like have a buzz going or whatever, but they really don't rap that good, or at least they don't rap like cool. They might like be able to put a lot of words together, but it sounds like too much effort. Right.
See, me, I record. I just go in there and record too. Like, I don't even write my music. I just go in there off the top of my head. So it's like, for me, that's better for me because it's like, it's more natural. Like, I feel like I can just, however I'm feeling that day. So it's like, okay, if I go to the studio today, however I'm feeling, it's just gonna naturally come out instead of me just sitting down trying to like write it. And I don't go against people writing either. I love music either way. But it's more so like, I just be more so about emotions. Like, I just rather my emotions just let it out. Cause it's just like, it helps me come up with different flows and shit too. Like, it's natural.
I feel like if you show up with a written verse on a track with Babyface Ray or I Swear Vezo, that you're probably gonna sound out of place because their recording process and how casual it is kind of like a big factor in terms of how the music ultimately ends up sounding. Right.
Yeah, it's more like, it's energy too. It'd be about the energy. Like, it'd be better to just go in there and freestyle. Because I used to write when I first started. Right. But it was like, it was taking so much time. Like, it's like you trying your hardest to say something instead of just going in there and putting the words, twisting it, you know.
That's something that like a lot of people who rap actually talk about, but that a lot of the fans I don't think know about is that rap is kind of like an actual sport once you're actually in the studio because motherfuckers will be like emphasizing how long it takes you to record as well. And I've heard stories from people about being in the studio with Gucci back in the day and how the pressure was fucking on, where if you didn't have your verse done in 10, 15 minutes, then you just weren't going to be able to hang because you got Gucci and Thug and all these people just spitting verses like that. And it's like, that creates kind of like a weird level of competition. It's obviously not for everybody, but.
Yeah, I used to be thinking like that, like, I got to make a song in an hour and do it in this. Now, like, once I got the confidence to really just relax in there, it's more so like, I let it come however it come. Really? Like, I might make a hook in 15 minutes. I might make a hook in 40 minutes. Like, I don't really I try to take my time with it now. Like, cause it's also about being creative.
Right.
Like, I don't be wanting to rush the music. And I don't want to feel like, oh, I need to do this and do, like, you know, I work at my pace. Like,
you have a home studio or you go to the studio?
I go to the studio.
Okay. What's the environment like?
As far as like the studio environment,
you know, a lot of guys I see that they need a lot of amenities in the studio, whether it's they need hot girls around or they need certain drugs or alcohol or food or candy. Like, what is inspirational to you?
I go to the studio alone most of the time. Like, I invite people sometimes, but it kind of be a lot when you in the studio trying to focus and then you got 10 people doing all type of, you know, like, it kind of be a lot sometimes, but
that's how I would feel, for sure.
Yeah,
I look at rappers like, I can't believe you're able to be creative with this much shit going
on around. Yeah. So I like started inviting people around just so I could get used to that, because, you know, in some studios it's going to be people there. So it's like I do it sometimes, but like most of the time I go to the studio alone. It just be me and the engineer.
Are you dressed up when you go to the studio?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
I be dressed down. I might go in with a, you know, a mask, like, or I might just go in like this. Like, I be natural with it.
I just think it's funny when I see rappers and they're in the studio by themselves or with like 2 other people and they got their like $800 shoes on and the whole outfit, and I'm just like, damn, like, you need to do that to like channel the power of the drip.
No, not really. I be dressed down most of the time when I'm in the studio. I'm dressed down.
Girls are always looking for any opportunity to not get dressed up because it's such a pain in the ass.
It's so much. Like, right now, these jeans killing me.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't even see them. I wonder if they probably can, but.
Yeah, these them Subies.
Fuck, okay. So tell me a little bit about your upbringing. You're from Cincinnati, which is a little bit out of the ordinary. We haven't had a shitload of artists from there on here.
Yeah. It's a wonderful city. It's like, you got the good and the bad that come with it. I'm from downtown Cincinnati. That's the West End.
I heard you're from like the worst area.
Yeah, that's like the worst. Like, okay, you got downtown Cincinnati and then you got all the other neighborhoods.
Right.
But the other neighborhood, like, people, they can't come down, you know, on our side of it. It's not really, you know, safe for people. It's
dangerous. No outsiders allowed.
It ain't really safe for us. It's not safe for people in general. So it's,
and it was always like that even when you were a kid?
Always.
Really?
It's actually gotten a little better, like, recently. It's like having moments. It's moments. So like, but as a kid, it was like 100% not safe.
Really?
Like, I wouldn't just be inviting my friends down there, like, you know, it wasn't really safe like that.
Were your parents really cautious?
Nah, they born in it. So it's like, you know, it's like they used to it.
Right.
It ain't much they ain't seen. They born in it.
So they would let you play outside and shit?
Yeah.
Wasn't a concern?
It's like it's in our blood. Like, you know, I didn't really have the parents that was like, oh, you can't go outside. It's crazy.
Right.
No, we outside. My parents outside too.
Were you seeing crazy shit from a young age?
Yeah.
Do you have memories of seeing shootings and that kind of stuff?
all the time.
Really?
That's normal. That's really normal. That ain't even like, that's super normal.
Really?
Shootings and, yeah. We done been running from shootings. Like, we done been in the crowd where they were shooting at. Like, it's serious.
Do you think you've been traumatized by having to live through that?
Hell yeah, I'm traumatized. Yeah, I'm traumatized. It's just like you know, when you grow up in something and you really grow up in it. Like, I've been in downtown Cincinnati my entire life.
Right.
Not like I didn't leave and go duck off, and like, I've been there my entire life.
Right.
So like, I'm really, you know, I'm one of them.
Right.
So it's like, we done seen everything. Shootings, killings. It's been everything.
Sometimes one thing that my therapist has said to me a bunch of times that I think about a lot is she's like, a lot of the people that you interview have extreme undiagnosed trauma that they often haven't confronted, you know? And like, it's not really like thought of that way. But when I think about some of the stories that my friends have told me about growing up or whatever, I'm just like, it is a fucking miracle that you're as normal as you are, given that you've seen this kind of shit from such a young age. Yeah,
it's like, because you adapt to it. If you don't adapt to it, you're going to be somewhere with your head cut off. So you got to adapt to it. You got to know what's right and what's wrong, too, also.
Right.
Like, you don't want to get caught up in it. Like, that's the last thing to do, is to get caught up in it. But, you know, it's good and bad, because, like, I would rather grow up in that community than grow up in the suburbs and then be in the real world not knowing what's going on.
Right.
Like, if I know I grew up in this type of environment, I know how to move and survive. That's how I feel.
I know. I look at my kid every day and think, you're not going to know shit.
You see what I'm saying? For real, like, it's like you want to know how to survive. You don't want to be nowhere in the world. Oh, I'm out in L.A. Don't know what, like, right from wrong. Like, you know where to stay away from, how to move. Like, it play a big part with your life. And I feel like the community helped us be better people for the, like, you know, for the future.
Right. Do you, but do you look at that upbringing? Like, we talk a lot about the fact that it's hard for dudes because there's so much pressure to get into gangs or crime, selling drugs, etc. As a woman growing up in that environment, how is that different? And how did you view the world around you at that young age?
At first, it was like we kind of was blind to it. Like, we got one of them neighborhoods people love. They can't come down there, but they would love to come down there. You get what I'm saying? People would love to just be there because it's like, you hear about it, like they parents telling, you know, even if you're not from my neighborhood, your parents done told you about it. Like, because a lot of people, they be from different neighborhoods, but their parents might be from downtown Cincinnati. Okay. And they might have just moved and felt like, okay, I'm not going to let my kids grow up in that. So it's like, you know, you meet, I went to school with people that wasn't from where I was from, but they would love, they wanted to come there so bad. Like, we just want to, let's go down there. Like, but you know, like, it ain't that easy to just bring people into it because, like, I'm not even safe in it.
Really?
It's like, it's very unsafe just as a whole, the community.
But, okay, was it the kind of community where you have older dudes, street dudes, or whatever, who are, like, really taking care of shit? Or was it just straight mayhem, just, like, people indiscriminately going at it and there was nobody, like... Yeah,
mayhem. We out chilling at the park. It's liable to be going down tonight. Like, we don't know that. We just kids. We at the park, we doing kid stuff, you know, like, and then next thing you know, shots firing. You gotta move around. So it was like a gift and a curse, honestly. Like, I'm blessed to be from there though. Like I wouldn't want to be from nowhere else.
For sure.
Nowhere else.
What was high school like?
High school, it was cool. You know, everybody coming, they trying to bring their best fits, best, you know, the gear, the money. Everybody wasn't really getting money at the time, and money really, I ain't gonna even act like it mattered that much back then, but if you was getting it, you was getting it.
Okay.
But it wasn't really, our community had us so blind, we wasn't even really, the money wasn't even mattering that much. Like, really? You would get some money, then go spend it all on an outfit.
Right.
You know, just trying to, everybody linking up, we linking up. Like, it was so, we was blinded. Cause it's just that type of community. Like, it was, you really was blinded to the real world.
Right. So when you were coming up, did you know a lot of people who were hustling and doing well for themselves, or was that even like, did you know people who had businesses or anything like that?
No businesses, just straight street credit, and that was it. It wasn't no, oh, I got this property. I didn't know no friend. None of my friends ain't had properties. Wasn't doing nothing legit. Everything was illegal.
Was there any rappers you were looking at as like the hometown hero at that age?
Yeah, Scally.
Okay.
He from my community too.
Oh, nice.
His name's Scally. Yeah, he was like, he had the city though. He had the city on lock.
Okay.
Like, it was the city, not just my community, everybody. Even if you wasn't from down there, everybody.
Were you always interested in music, or were you fucking around freestyling at a young age?
I started doing music, and no, I wasn't. As a kid, no. I played sports.
Oh, right.
I played basketball, like sports, every sport almost.
And you kept doing that even after high school?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was over, like 9th grade, it was over.
Oh, okay.
It was over. You know, because you start seeing other things, and you start getting into other things. And
good things or bad things?
Bad.
Really? Primarily?
I wouldn't even necessarily say it's bad. It's like a hustle.
Right.
You know, so it was like, once I started getting into other things, it was like, I ain't had no time for this. This wasn't bringing no money in. You know, household was different at the time. It was time to figure it out myself.
Because I was getting that from listening to music. I'm like, she sounds like she's done some hustling in her life. Or she's just saying it.
Nah, it's just, like, it's a well-known fact. Everybody in my city know. If you know me, you know better.
How'd you get put on to that kind of lifestyle?
I was already born in it.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, I just adapt. It was easy for me to adapt to anything because I'm born in it.
There wasn't some bad dude at one point who put the battery in your back?
I control every situation. You know, like, I'm a leader. I don't follow the situations. I was doing things, and people around me wouldn't know how I was getting money.
Really?
They'd just see me with it because I'm not really a person I'm not trying to talk about it. I'm trying to do it and because I had to do it. Like, I'm not old enough to get a job yet. Okay, I got to figure something out.
Right.
You know, so it was like kind of already in me. Like my grandma a gangster.
Really?
Yeah, like it's really in me.
That's interesting because I feel like with a lot of girls, it's kind of like a challenge for them to find their own sense of confidence. And so a lot of times we have that assumption that when you hear about a girl getting to rap or a girl getting into the streets or whatever, that there was a dude who was at the very least like coaching her on how to get into whatever kind of shit she was trying to get into. You always kind of had a little bit of that force of personality.
Yeah, I was into it before the dudes around me. They was kind of late.
Right.
Like I was been in it. I was just quiet. I knew like, okay, I'm a female. I can get away with this. If I'm by myself, nobody ain't go, you know? Like if they don't know nothing, it's nothing to talk about.
That is a good point.
Like I was by myself. I wasn't really I was still hanging with the, you know, with the gang, but it was like I was by myself when I was doing what I was doing.
Did you ever have legal problems associated to this lifestyle?
No. As far as like
Of the cops, like you never had issues with all that?
no, like you know the weed tickets and stuff like that. I've never been in no trouble ever.
Really?
Like as a kid, you know, a lot of driving without license. I might have had 13 warrants at a time, mass driving without license tickets, like just stuff like that. But I went to juvenile when I was like 13.
Really?
I did 2 weeks in there for mass driving without license, weed tickets, truancies and stuff like that. After that, I never got in trouble.
Really? You were smoking weed at 13? You still smoke weed now?
No, I just actually stopped.
How long ago?
Like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Well, okay. Perhaps it'll stick. Why'd you stop?
Cause it's like weed kind of make me like I get irritated fast. I'm a Gemini, so like we really be, you know, like snappy.
Yeah.
So like the weed,
I wouldn't want you yelling at me.
Yeah, like I could be having a positive conversation, like, and it might be something I need to hear, but if I'm off the weed, I might not want to hear that shit at the time. Like I don't want to hear that.
Right.
You know, and you don't need to be like that, especially when you enter in this type of business. You need to be full-fledged. You want to be straightforward, straight up or down. You don't want it to be like I'm just holding myself back because I'm getting high and I ain't in the mood. You know, like, so I had to really let the weed go. It felt like it was, because when I'm really smoking real weed, not no play. Not no play.
You were getting real high.
Yeah. No limit. For real. So I had to really stop. Like, I had to stop.
Respect. You know? Okay, but so then you're doing your thing in the streets or whatever. Like, what has to happen before you get interested in rapping? Like, how did that become a thing?
We used to, like, me and my friend K1, we used to get drunk and record ourselves rapping and stuff, and then the next day we'll watch the videos. And he was like, you need to rap. Like, but you know, I'm really not. Felt like I was so lit in real life. I'm like, rapping? I didn't want to be no rapper. Like,
it's hard to imagine before you get in
there.
Yeah,
right? Like, I couldn't take it serious. I'm like, a rapper? Because that's really something I never thought about. So
that's the hardest part about being a rapper, is accepting and fighting past the fact that people, your friends, are gonna like laugh at you wanting to get into it in the beginning. I think.
Yeah, it's like you want to be a rapper. So it was like, I tried it. I tried a freestyle and I put it out and they really liked it. So it was like, because I told you I already played sports and did a lot of stuff. I always been like an active type of person. Like, so I'm thinking like rapping, maybe I do need to try this. Like, and I tried it. Seriously, like I tried it like 2014.
That's when you started.
Yeah, but I still wasn't taking it serious. I wasn't never taking it serious for real, because it was just still like, a rapper, like, you gotta think, I never had social medias or none of that. So
you never went into that?
Yeah, I never been on MySpace, none of that, like, and that was popular in our era. So it was like, rapper, I gotta take pictures and make social medias and see, like, I was a very private person. So for me, that was kind of a lot. Like, okay, I gotta let these people into my life.
Yeah, like you can't just make some music. You gotta also be your own fucking marketing campaign.
Yeah, so it was kind of a lot.
Yeah.
But once I got into it, I say I started taking it serious probably I dropped a tape in 2018.
Oh, okay, that's when you started to take it
When
serious.
I knew, like, okay, this is really what you need to do. Because I started, once you start getting good at it, you realize, like, okay, I'm getting better. So it's like, if I'm getting better at if I keep going, I'm going to get better and better. So it was like 2017, that's when I really knew, like, I'm hot. Like, I'm hot. Because I stopped writing, too.
People were fucking with it in the city or
in
online?
The city. On, like, you know, SoundCloud.
Right.
That's when, because I didn't have no YouTube or nothing like that. It was SoundCloud at them days. So it was still like, I knew that I was hot because the streets was, like, when they was seeing me, that's a lot in my community. If everybody really, because we ain't sugarcoating nothing.
Right.
We ain't finna just be like, oh, yeah, you my peoples, you hot. Like, if it ain't right, it ain't right.
But you were feeling it when you went outside that, like, people actually
people used to be
fucked
like,
with
you need to take it. They was telling me to take it serious. It's like they knew I wasn't taking it serious. Like, you need to take it serious.
Right.
So it was like, okay, I'm about to take this serious.
And were you always Skylar Blatt? Mm-hmm. That's your actual last name?
No, my name.
No, you don't have to tell me your last name. But where'd the last name come from?
Like, we was, see, in my city, well, my
Black,
hood,
black, black,
yeah,
black.
we fuck with Young Thug a lot.
Okay.
So, like, that's
But
when
he's
he was
slack.
he was slack. So it was like, it's like a merge. It ain't nothing but a merge. Slat, black.
Okay.
Like, you know how
it's
you
not
just
a gun sound. It's more of a slat homage.
Yeah, like black.
Oh, yeah, I guess he does say that.
It's not
too,
like
yeah.
black, like I'm trying to, you know, it's like slack. So
Right.
it was like, we was on Young Thug heavy at the time. Like, heavy.
One of the greatest.
Yeah, so it was like slang. He was, you know, he was preaching that to the world, and a lot of people was, you know, in my city they wasn't listening to him like that, but our hood we was listening to him heavy, and he was saying we was repping the slime shit. Like,
You guys bloods over there?
no, we don't do no gangbanging.
Oh, okay.
No gangbanging in our city.
In the whole city, it's
yeah,
just
we
like
don't gangbang at
different
all.
neighborhoods?
Yeah, it's just mass neighborhoods. We don't do no gang like red flag, blue. We don't do that.
Okay. So
Like-
if you see somebody and, like, you just start rattling off what block you're from, or just
Like-
calling them a bitch in general, or what?
See, look, right? Our neighborhood is big, but it's about 1, 2. It's like six different hoods in one community, but none of them get along.
Right.
Like, nobody get along. So it's like, we ain't really, you got your certain beef. Like, you might be cool with one side, but the other side, y'all both might not like them. You get what I'm saying? So it was just kind of difficult, but I was always an all-around type of person. Like, I could go anywhere.
Right.
Like, nobody ain't giving me no problems. Like, I can go anywhere.
That sounds like, because in a way, the gangbang and shit in LA makes who has problems with each other kind of like simpler, because if you're really around it, you start to know, like, oh, these people don't like these people. But then on the other hand, like, what you're talking about just sounds kind of like chaotic, where like
Yeah.
nobody knows who's supposed to be getting along.
Yeah, it's static.
Right.
Like, and then you might have a moment at a time where everybody beefing with each other. It ain't like, that's how it's been right now lately.
Right.
Like, it's just been static.
Who were you looking at in terms of inspiration, like early on and even up till today? Like, who were you looking at thinking, like, I want to have that kind of energy that they have in their videos or with their music?
Gucci, Lil Wayne. Let me see, did I really been like all time?
Sure, yeah.
Gucci, Wayne, Nicki, Drake. Like, I used to, Chris Brown too. I remember one time when they dropped that Loyal. That's around the time when I first like kind of started rapping, but I was known. Everybody knew, like, okay, Skylar Blatt. Like, in my hood, they knew. In my city, I mean. But that's when I knew, like, I gotta step it up. They dropping shit like this. Like, I got to make it make sense. Like, some rappers had me like that. Like, I listen to their music and be like, yeah, you gotta step it up. If you gonna do this, you gotta do it the right way.
But did you ever make R&B music? Did you ever sing?
No, I be messing with the auto-tune, like, you know, the melodies. I got a lot of melodies, but not really, no, not singing.
Right.
But it was just more so, like, the fact that how hot they was at the time. It's like, I got to be hot in order to be, you know, because it's like a friendly competition. Like, if you got to produce hot music you got to be trying to go against the hottest. Like, you want to be in them topics with them. when people mentioning, you know.
But you could learn a lot about a rapper by who they choose to do songs with. So when we see you doing shit with Babyface Ray and Vezo and shit, it's like, is that how you see yourself as a rapper? Or is that you're this sort of like minimalist style, like real street type rapper?
I like both lanes. I mean, I like all lanes. It's just like, that's like a Midwest thing. And, you know, we on that Detroit music bad in my city. So it was like, yeah, we need to work.
So is that what a lot of the music coming out of Cincinnati kind of sounds like and shit at this point? That people be fucking with the Detroit sound?
Not really. Like, some people, you know, you got some artists that rap like they from Detroit. I'm not really into that. Like, if I get on a beat with a Detroit artist, I'm gonna sound like me. But, you know, once Detroit, like, blew up with their music, people start trying to sound like them. Right. You know, but nah, that's not what's going on in Cincinnati. Everybody got we really different. Everybody got their own facade for real. Like, right. We really, it's different there. So you were rapping on Facebook originally? Yeah, Facebook Live. I used to be doing some, you know, I just would record and post it on there, like little recordings, like me, how I be sitting here, I be freestyling or something, or, you know, like I write this one I was writing at the time. Okay. I write a freestyle and just upload it, because it was like I was trying to see how the world felt about it. Right. Like, instead of just my city and my neighborhood, it was like, let me see how the world feel. Because, you know, Facebook is easy to go viral on any social media. Right. So it was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to do this the right way. And it was like, I was shy at first. Really? Like, naturally shy, because I know everybody, but it was like, I got to get up there and rap in front of them. Doing that into the camera just feels way different. Yeah, it's like, hold on. Like, so if all these people come see me, I got to get up there and rap. So it was like I was really breaking out of that stage. I was ready to break out of that stage. Like, shit, fuck it, I'm about to start rapping. Right. So, and everybody had already knew me too, so it was, that kind of made it a lot better. Just having that degree of support from the community. Yeah, because everybody already knew me in real life, so it was like, yeah, she rapping now. Yeah. Well, that's good. So it was smooth. So you felt like it hit its stride early on, or like when did you really start to feel like you were gaining momentum? I see, like, on like social media or in general? Just, you know, YouTube, social media, whatever it was. Like 2019 it might have been. Right. I had went out with, started dealing with Meek Mill and them. Right. So how did he get in touch with you? He just wrote me. I wrote him. He watched my story and I tagged him, you know, and it went from there. Right. And then they was on tour, him and I think Future. Okay. They was on that tour. And they was coming to my city, and they had somebody reach out. My homie Talk reached out to somebody who was from the city that knew me. And they like, yeah, have her pull up here. Like, and I just pulled up there, and then we just bonded from there. Really? Okay, so what was that like? It was a great experience. Like, it was my first time ever even dealing with anybody in the industry or anything like hands-on. So it was like, it was new to me. It was like, what the hell? Right. And I mean, like, you're dealing with dudes that are like just so used to like crazy levels of fame and money and success that it's just a lot of times like a normal person being around that, it'll just kind of be mind-blowing, like what the energy is like from these types of stars. Yeah, it was really like, damn, I'm in here like, you know, like I'm at the Grammy party, like it's all type of people in here. Jay-Z, it's like, you know, it was really like, what the hell? Like, I'm telling you, I remember really being in the middle of the party just looking around like, what the hell? Wow, so did you think you were gonna sign at first, or was that conversation going around? It was more so about like, we really was building like a friendship type of thing, but it was like, okay, we wanna work, we wanna sign you, but it never really fell through all the way, because it was a lot, I never really knew what happened with their situation. Interesting. Yeah, so it was like, but we ain't never had no bad blood or nothing. I still fuck with Meek and everything. But did you actually get to the point of having the actual conversation about signing, or was it something that got fucked up with, like the lawyers were dealing with it and then it never ended up happening? Yeah, it was something like more on their end. But we was talking about signing and everything. Yes, I had multiple conversations with them. Interesting. Like multiple. Was that a letdown when it didn't pan out? Nah, I'm from the hood, so it's like, it's not really much I ain't seen. You know, that was just like a lesson. You got to keep going. It's always gonna be a bump somewhere. You ain't gonna never get through life without taking the bumps. Like, so it was just like boom. Were you but you know,
were you going around acting like or feeling like it was a done deal? Were you starting to like count your chickens before they hatched?
Like, was I acting like I was already like I was?
Yeah, like was there a point where you were like really excited about it and then it kind of didn't pan out and you felt a little let down by it?
I was excited, but like I said, coming from where I come from, your guard always up. It's never not up.
Right.
It don't matter if you in the room with the greatest whoever, your guard is always, because it's just naturally in us. So it's like, I know this can go wrong, just like I know it can go right. You know, it's like a balance. So it's like, it never really, no, I was excited and I also knew like it could go wrong.
It is wild when you think about a young rapper's career, because it's like something like that one video, somebody clipping it and it going viral on Twitter could have this like big moment for your career. It's not like a paid thing. It's not something that anybody could have seen coming, you know, and like you meet rappers or like you have rappers be interested in you, and that might seem like it's going to be the biggest thing in the world for a little while, and then it doesn't really turn into anything. And like, I don't know, it's just, it's wild as a rapper how you
never know.
You want to have as much control as possible, but a lot of times the biggest things in your career are things that are completely random that you have no control over.
Yeah, that's how it was with the like On My Block freestyle. I didn't know that was about to,
right?
Like it just literally. I couldn't sit right here and be like, yeah, I knew that was gonna do that.
What was that actually? That was in a like with a green screen in a studio.
It's outside.
It was outside. So that's the actual background.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, okay. I'm over here thinking everything's fake because I'm watching it just thinking like it doesn't look right. Like I feel like this was done in the studio.
It's how they like record. It's how they film it. Like it make it look like it's fake, but no, that's really the background.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like a complex. So if you go in there and you see different people in different like locations, it's like a big complex.
Okay.
That's really the background.
That was like your neighborhood or like nearby?
No, that was in Atlanta.
Oh, you went out there to do it?
Yeah, that wasn't in my city. That was in Atlanta.
Okay. How'd you end up doing that?
Like a press run.
Oh, okay.
You know, Atlanta press run. My team set it up, and it was just like, showed up, and I did it.
And that was a song you already had on a project? That song was already out? Oh, okay. Because then you put the video out afterwards, right?
No, the video was out before.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So that the freestyle must have just come out then, right?
Yeah, it had just came out in February.
Okay. Interesting. So are you like really putting in work in terms of the music? Like you feel like you're still like getting a lot better all the time when you're recording?
Yeah, because like I listen to, I'm not the type that'll just record a song and leave it at that.
Right.
Like I take time in there. I'm gonna record it and I wanna hear it and I want it right there in there. Like send it right now so I can hear it in the car. And then it's like, okay, it give you more ideas when I listen to it in the car. For me just going in there and just rapping once and just like, okay, yeah, mix it. I don't do that. I go over songs. Like just to make sure I ain't, you know, because I want it to be how I want it to be. I don't want it to just be all over the place. I want it to sound right. I might need to switch certain words out. Like, so I like have a lot of I do rough drafts with all my songs.
I think more rappers should do that.
Yeah, I do it with all my songs.
Because there's no way that the bars that you come up with your first go are the best
ones.
Possible bars. You might sometimes land on just an insane song, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like going back and working on it more would usually be a good thing for most rappers.
Because you want to be creative too. I don't just rap about street shit. Like I got another lane. I go other lanes, and you know, so it's like I really be going over all my songs. Literally, I want to hear them in the car. I don't think that word should go right there. I should say another word. Like you know, it's like you just got to be creative with it. Like so, I always go over all my records. Always.
Right. Like if you think
I touch every record.
If you think your first draft of a song is the best it could possibly be, you're probably not being honest with your stuff.
Yeah. You got to go over it. I make rough drafts to every song I make. In the past 2 years, everything.
Do you feel like your fans mostly want to hear you talk about street shit, or what would you say they're interested in?
It's like a balance. Like people be wanting, like they want street shit and they want the melodies too. Cause it's like you can't get enough. It's like, okay, you rap about one thing, boom, okay, I like her. She rap about street shit. But if I'm rapping about melodies and I'm rapping about other things, you know, real life shit, but it's still like with melodies, it's like, oh, she can do this too. So they really like it all. Like that's one thing that I had to learn because I was doing melodies for a while. I came out rapping just hardcore. And then once I got on to the auto-tune and learned it, I started doing melodies. And then for a while, I was just doing melody music. I'm like, no, I need to stop doing this. I need to put a mixture.
You making Lil Uzi records?
Yeah, if that's what you call it. If that's what you call
That
it.
kind of thing?
Is that what you call it?
Okay, but you said that at first you didn't even have a MySpace or a Twitter or whatever, and you weren't really like in tune with the idea of having to market yourself. What is that like for you as a woman, where you know that like how you look is a big factor in how much attention people are going to pay to you?
I care, but then I don't. Like, I'm not really a person that feel like, oh, I gotta look good, and like, you see, I just came in here normal,
right?
No makeup. Like, I really don't be caring for real. But then I have moments where I want to get dressed up and dolled up like that, but it's not an all-time thing for me.
Because I was going through your Instagram last night and just like started to notice is like more and more photos of, you know, like the makeup's fully done, the outfit looks really good. I could tell you're like really kind of going out of your way to put yourself out there like that.
Yeah, like it's a mode. I gotta really be in the mood for it. Like, if I'm not in the mood for it, I'm gonna have on some sweatpants. And for real, like I come as I go. I don't really be like waking up like, oh, I gotta do this. Like, I need my makeup done. I'm not really that type of person.
Yeah, like as a guy, once you realize how long it takes for the average girl to get ready, a girl being ready or like being dolled up for no reason starts to make you think that they're sick in the fucking head. Because why would you go through all that unless you were gonna be seen by a lot of people, right?
Yeah,
like,
for real. You know, no, like it drive you crazy. Yeah. That'd drive me crazy if I was really waking up trying to do that. But some girls are naturally like that though.
Right.
That's not how I'm not like that. You know, you got some girls that just feel like I ain't going nowhere without no face beat. I'm not going nowhere without being dressed up. Like, that's them. I'm not like that. Right. So if you see me somewhere, I'm out of pocket. If I'm just somewhere like that, I'm out of pocket.
Right.
That's not really what I do.
But it says a lot about your confidence if you're a woman and you can like be in the club and be wearing like a fucking sweater and a like, pair of jeans or whatever. Like, if you could style yourself so you don't have to be super dolled up. Because I always tell my girl that. I'm be like, just wear whatever. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. And she'll be like, I'm not fucking tall and skinny, so I can't pull that. It's not going to look cool if I wear some shit like that, you know?
Yeah, I stay natural. But I don't have nothing against people like that. I got friends like that, family. I just don't do that personally. I be chilling overall.
You got a boyfriend?
No.
No?
No.
Do you often? Like, are you somebody who's in and out of relationships, or are you more often single?
Single.
It's just your style?
Yeah, it's like relationships is a lot. Like, I'm not trying to pour all of myself into one thing. Right. Like, and then you don't even get that in return. So I'd rather just like focus on myself. I'm not really a relationship type of. I got all the time in the world to be in a relationship, you know? Right. You ain't got all the time to wake up and chase your dreams, and you don't have all the time.
Do you feel like you're in like grind mode, like hustle mode, where it's like everything you do right now is really important and you can't really be chilling?
I can't play. Let's play. So if I'm dealing with somebody, it got to be, they got to not have too much time for me either. Like, we both have to be busy. I ain't got time to sit and talk on the phone all day. Like, some days I don't even want to talk. I can't be in a relationship right now. That's just natural, you know. I can't.
No, that makes sense. But I was looking at your Instagram photos, and I seen you had an Instagram caption that was something about keeping dudes in rotation. And I was like, oh, damn. All right. So she bossy like that. Okay. Talk to me about that. What is a rotation? I don't know if I've ever been in a rotation. I know I have, but they didn't call it that back then.
No, it's yeah, they're in rotation, you know. You have moments for people. Everybody not like forever. Right. Meant to be for forever. You know, it's a moment thing. Move around.
But a rotation implies that there's a bunch in rotation, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It might be a different brother.
No, it's just something. It sound cool. Yeah. You know, and that's something like when you say stuff like that, the people that you do deal with, they feel some type of way about it. Right. So, you know, it's just something that sounds cool. It's not really like, I don't even have time to have dudes in rotation.
Yeah, if I had a girlfriend who was like just rapping about treating dudes like shit, I would be like walking around like wondering if my friends had another secret group chat making fun of me for the fucking bars.
No, it's like, it just sound cool. Them lyrics, that was actually a lyric that I said. Yeah,
but then the next photo after that said that you were accepting boyfriend applications.
Yeah, see.
So that's like a completely different energy.
Yeah, it's like, I went from that to that.
Right.
Like, it's just a mode. Like, whatever mood I'm feeling. Like, but I really wasn't serious about neither one of them. I'm not accepting boyfriend. It was just a caption.
Okay.
Like, it sound cool. It's cool.
Get the male part of your fan base excited.
Yeah,
maybe
like,
they'll listen to the new song.
Yeah.
Let me see what she got going on.
He said, let me see what she got going on. Yeah, you know, it just get them rattled up. You know, just entertainment for real.
Have you been doing meetings with labels and stuff like that? You having those conversations? Mm-hmm. How's that going? You thinking about signing?
Not at the moment. Like, me and my team, we really focusing on building ourselves and keep building. You know, I feel like it's all the time in the world to sign. If you're doing the right thing and you're doing it correctly, people still gonna want to work with you regardless, as long as you keep pushing and, you know, getting stronger, building the leverage to, you know, have it to where you get a good deal. You don't want to just walk in the room with somebody and they like, here we go this, here go this, and, you know, like, you want to build yourself up so they can come correct without even you having to say anything. I don't even gotta talk. They know how to come, you know?
At this early stage in your career, what does your team look like? And it might not feel early since you've been grinding for a long time, but like, I don't know, like, do you have a manager, an assistant? Like, there's a couple people you rolled up with. Like, what roles do you have?
I just got a partner.
Oh.
It's like we looking for managers and assistants, but it's like you can't put anybody in that position. You got to be able to trust them. You got to be, you know, we live, it's an era where you can't even trust people in regular life. So how am I trust you with some business and some money?
You see the Carl Crawford guy that Meg Thee Stallion signed to was in the club with Tory Lanez?
No.
Well, that's a situation you don't want to end up in.
Yeah, you see, like, for real, like, I didn't even see that, but I definitely don't want to end up in that.
Right. Like, shit. Maybe signing your career over to somebody ain't such a great idea. Who knows what could happen?
You know, I just feel like when you building from ground up and you just keep pushing, you learn stuff, and as you learning and you pushing, you build relationships with people that's in this business. So as long as I'm building the right relationships with people, with genuine people, and when it's time to sign, I'm gonna be ready. I'm not personally ready to sign with nobody. I don't feel like I'm ready. I don't feel like I know enough to even be in the room like, okay, I want to sign.
Right.
You have to know the background, or you want to know everything, even though it's not like you can just, you know what's going to happen. You can't plan it out and know like, okay, it's going to happen this way. I'm going to sign and it's going to happen. But it's like, I at least want to be prepared for whatever going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, like, yeah, I'd rather be prepared. I don't feel like I'm ready to be in no room signing no dotted line. No.
Respect. What do you have coming up? You have a project coming out? Or are you just going to keep dropping videos? Like, what's the game
I have
plan?
a project coming out in May or June. We deciding on the days right now. My birthday's in May.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see if I want to drop it for my birthday or like June, full-fledged summer. But also I'm doing a tape with Cardo Got Wings.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
I got a tape with Cardo Got Wings on the way too.
How'd you start communicating with him?
I had reached out to Cardo like in September. He reached out like a couple months later and was just like, yo, what's your email I'm sending you? Like, he just must have, you know, went and synced my page and listened to the music. He just started loading me up like, let's work, let's tap. Like, he tapped in. I fuck with Cardo like on a personal level. That's my homie. I fuck with him.
That's
like
dope.
outside of the business, you know, you do business with people, but like you don't treat them like a friend outside of it.
Right.
Like, I fuck with Cardo on both ends, like business and friendship.
That's dope. You feel like it's a big weight on your shoulders, or like your responsibility that you want to put your city on?
Yeah, I got to. I can't even get this far and not do that. Like, look, I'm in No Jumper.
With Laura.
For real, like, I can't play. I can't play. Like, this is going to go down in history. I can't even play. Like, so, you know, you don't want to climb to a certain level and then feel like, oh, this is like, I ain't taking this to my head. Like, yeah, I was at No Jumper. Like, I'm looking at it like, this is a blessing. I can't believe it, but this is still like, you know, like, you don't want to feel like, oh, yeah, I got 100K followers. Like, no, I'm trying to shoot for the moon.
I love getting somebody's interview early on. And you already done other interviews and stuff, so it's not like we're fucking breaking totally new ground here or whatever. But yeah, when I first saw you rap, I was just like, oh fuck, like I wonder if she's got interviews, because I could definitely see her being fucking big after this. So we should probably try to get in there early.
Yeah. When you wrote me out, I was like, what the fuck? For real.
That's tight. That's tight that after a lifetime of like DMing girls who probably didn't want me to DM them, that I could DM somebody who was genuinely happy.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I come from nothing. This is crazy. For real.
That's sick. You been to LA before though?
Okay.
I
travel to LA. It's kind of hard getting used to the time zone.
Right.
Because like we 3 hours behind. So when I got here, I'm like, whew, it's 2 o'clock in the morning at home. Like,
right.
It's like you got to get used to it.
Yeah, I feel like through the magic of coffee and or weed that I can kind of make it happen. I can force myself to go to sleep early, or I can force myself to get up early. So I don't know, I just like fight through that jet lag thing.
Yes, because this time zone is crazy.
You want to get fucked up is when you go somewhere like 12 fucking hours, 20 hours on the plane, and you get there and you're like really, like your body has no clue what to feel.
Right.
That's when you got to take Xans or something. Like you got to fucking do something to like regulate your sleep and shit.
Yeah, I'm scared of them Xans.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
I'm scared.
Definitely stay away from that. I don't want that to be the purpose of this interview. Get Skylar on the Xans.
He said, "Got Skylar on the Xans."
For sure. Okay, yeah, appreciate you coming in. It was a great conversation. I think we all agree that you got a ton of talent, and that we're very optimistic about your career from here. So, best of luck with everything.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Yeah,
and we're all looking forward to hearing more shit and everything.
Yeah, we'll be back. It's early on.
Yeah.
I'll give it about 6 months.
No doubt.
To a year, we'll be back.
And my condolences to all the guys who are in rotation that are getting roasted, that are in their fields watching this.
Yeah. They're in their fields. They're going to be okay.
Shit. All right. Skylar Blatt, No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, all that. Like, comment, subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support. Yeah, sure.
Yo, I want to shout my boy Brock out down at Soul Revival Fairfax. On Instagram, Soul Revival Fairfax. Shout out to my boy Brock. Shout out to ILWT too.
Shout out Brock.
Yeah, the Blizzard.
Shout out Brock Lesnar too.
Yeah.
Unrelated. I don't know him. Appreciate you.
Thank you. He's funny as hell.